compiles the wisdom of the and it grants knowledge to the people. The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate. It is the manifest, and it grants knowledge to the people.
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound...
It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. The real story is that the sages from the Academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the Samsara?
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night, even though we removed our Akasha terminals. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing, but as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared. The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content." Did he mean something more? My mind feels exhausted. We've already experienced the Sub-Zerus festival many times. The Grand Sage said... I can't seem to...
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zerus festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zerus festival. The dreams...
So, this is like a dream factory, and...
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
All right, last question. Who am I?
Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the sage's deception of Sumeru's people? Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions a hint that we're all dreaming? They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been... It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions. You asked me this question before. Now that you know this is all a dream, have you heard the saying, "Don't wake a sleepwalker"? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memory. That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, so whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they—
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia Forest, but couldn't...
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendril can a person gain the Dendril element's dream. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in...
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this?
We might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad. This relentless exploitation takes an even harder toll on them.
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing!
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence?
Even you don't know the reason?
The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter. Traveler, do you have...
The Grand Sage said, go celebrate the... Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a... Those spaces remind me of... dreams. Like...
Celebrate the birth of... Could it mean... deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable. After we end the Sub-Zero's festival, Samsara, we have to look into them.
How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back?
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long gone.
A sun and a moon? Oh, we're out of time?
I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we just say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali? Hey! What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way. Are we too late?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Paimon can't believe it.
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream, so another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the tree.
But personality-wise, she's nothing like...
Puppets are stiff, and can't copy a living person's vitality. And you know, speaking of which, the old Dunyarzad...
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met within her consciousness.
Yes. Her family was overlooked. No one cared about... I just gave her a little wisdom, so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. Far from it. I'm still a long way. I couldn't even say. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sub-Zero's festival with so many regrets.
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad.
To prevent more tragedies like this, We must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but
Although the Sub-Zero's festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha's innate. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
huh? So
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination.
imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when the server at the tavern brings a plate to you. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold, the dream will respond in kind. And the server really will bring you. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times, find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming.
How are we going to find them, though? And even if we did find them, after all, like you said.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. As for me,
Out of town? Are you going to that?
yes. I want to try something. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Oh, Paimon she was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her. Yeah, saving Dunyarzad, but we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake.
They're covered. They're
Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this dream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no? Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control, like Nahida and us. So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flap. Let's go ask him some.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just,
An experiment? That came out of nowhere.
could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that an...
Less questions, more wishing.
Okay. My wish. My wish. Okay.
Oh,
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she just doesn't seem like herself. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Ferris Knight of...
so you have a.
Oh, is it that obvious? After what I just said, I guess it is. When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy... What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flower. Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but that was pretty embarrassing. Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh,
What?
Fucky! Sorry, but only... Nice try, you two.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her. But none of them has any idea that...
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyar's... Huh? But Dia can handle them! Hey, Traveler!
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... fine, all right. Knock yourself out. Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup.
A new punching bag.
Come on, coward!
Take this! Yeah, yeah.
No more tricks up your...
Where do you think you're going?
Lightning flash! Fracture!
No more tricks up your...
I'll be back.
You won this one.
I'll be back.
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want... Oh, and speaking... Remember how during the first Sub-Zero's festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll... This is the place. It's rude to enter other... Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay, Paimon... This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing... Should we open it? Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this, even though she was also busy preparing for the Sub-Zeros. She must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sub-Zero if we hadn't found this book. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off? Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilou's dance of...
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is...
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, what? Where are we going this time?
If you continue to resist, the Grand Sage is...
How did things turn? Traveler?
Traveler.
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the Sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said. Yes. The Greater Lord Broth. That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after...
Yeah. What's... huh? You guys are acting... Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilou's the host. What if the purple body Saras don't exist in the real world anymore? It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate, and so when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilou? But if we want to end the samsara, how should we make Nilou...
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right.
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. As far as you know, people in
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage?
Ooh, sounds familiar.
Yep. But in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the... Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, his wife lying next to him said, You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love. In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the
Yes, but his faith and determination were conveyed.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connect.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sub-Zero's festival is almost over, too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sub-Zero's as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the Dance of Sub-Zeros.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Oh, good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Paimon thinks it was the Sub-Zero's festival. Have we finally escaped from the Sub-Zero Samsara? Quick, take off your Akasha terminal. She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What you...
Well done, Traveler. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sub-Zero's festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad!
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I just had a dream.
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like... And... Dunyarzad.
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right.
After we parted on the last day of the Subzerus festival, I left the city and saw what the traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara.
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. And not a moment too soon.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions. You mean how the Akasha
Yeah, it's been said.
It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection.
Misdirection?
The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeru, even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly against this. Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
At the Avidia Forest, there was this incense that made the travel.
You also heard someone's voice, right?
Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting.
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from King Deshret.
King Deshret? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracies.
Okay, so what does the message mean?
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tighnari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain.
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen... No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated... This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Does this mean you can also occupy other people's consciousnesses?
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her. What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana?
That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing.
So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida?
In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. And I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Moreover...
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at me.
Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission, and every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. There has never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line. I wonder what caused them to go down this path, and what they hope to achieve. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the Traveler hadn't broken the Sabzeruz Samsara, the situation could have become dire. I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing their Akasha terminals. I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Tighnari to join some kind of project. Could it be related?
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming. Got it! I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. I think I may need to rest for a while. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sabzeruz Samsara in the immediate future.
Go and get some sleep.
What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We have...
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh, we can't just keep waiting around like this. Let's go find Catherine and pick up some work so we can at least keep ourselves busy.